Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to be taking a look at Stetman's exclusive weapon. We are in Season 5, Week 3, and that is when Stetman's exclusive weapon comes out. Fiona's was Week 1. We're going to get Morrison's in Week 6, just to give you an idea where we're at here. So, man, we took a look at this last night during the live stream, and I gotta say, even after thinking about this for about the last 12 hours or so, I still think this is a pretty underwhelming exclusive weapon. Yes, the style, everything like that looks pretty sweet. I like what they did with the design. Pretty cool. However, skill set lacking. I don't like how they really force this into a specific situation like they did here. So let's take a look at this. We'll break this down, explain why I don't like this and what they could have done different, but also what the pros of this is. So let's jump in and take a look at the auto attack first. This attacks one enemy, dealing damage equal to 500 and about 520% of attack, plus additional shield damage equal to 100% of attack to the target. So if they have a shield, it's going to do about 620% of attack to that enemy to basically try to take the shield, strip the shield off. And that's really what this exclusive weapon is about. It's about trying to strip shields off of heroes. And if you think about this, it is mostly geared towards Lucius. I mean, this is 100% a Lucius counter, which is kind of weird because you're not trying to counter aircraft so much, I feel like. But even if you were, I feel like the shield stripping buff here needed to be stronger. If they were really trying to shoot for that, I would think this percent would have to be something like 150% of attack. And then same thing with the next one here. So that's the auto attack. And then this is the passive, which goes with the auto attack. So every time you attack with the auto attack, you get one charge, maxing out at 3 charges. When you're fully charged, that man's bonus skill effect from the exclusive weapon skill, or from the exclusive skill, will be triggered. It's kind of worded very lengthy, just to say every 3 attacks, he's going to do this charge attack here, where he hits 3 enemies in the back row, dealing energy damage equal to 120% of attack, plus energy or shield damage of 100%. So this is on top of his normal attack and his tactic abilities. This is not like, it's not replacing any of his attacks. It's something that's going to be happening every so often. So I do think from that standpoint, that's good. It's not something that it's taken away from his tactic abilities or anything. This is just going to be going off, proccing every so many attacks. And again, you're going to do a little bit of energy damage. 120% of attack, not really going to be that noticeable. Whenever you're talking about shield damage, then you're talking about 220% when you add the two together. So it starts to be doing something a bit, whenever you add these up here. So you're doing every 3 attacks, that's going to be about 1,800 or 1,800%. And then you throw on one of these, and then you're pushing over 2,000% attack to that enemy's shield. So whenever you're looking at it that way, yes, it could start to be beneficial with stripping shields for aircraft squads. But I don't know if this is going to be doing damage fast enough to help really counter aircraft squads. Because aircraft squads are going to have so much health, or they're going to have so many players with shields. And this is going to be targeting just 1 at a time, and then you're going to have the 3 in the back row. So if they have, say, D.Va in the front row, this is not going to be as beneficial because D.Va's in the front row. She's the one that's going to be doing all the damage. She's going to be shielded up, and she's not going to get hit by this. But she may be hit by the auto attack, but that's not going to be enough. You're going to be wanting both of these to be going off on the main damage dealer. So that is probably the big piece of this, is getting this to hit the players you want it to hit and stripping those shields off. And then this leads into the passive again for the third, or the level 30 skill. So it adds on this control immunity buff. So every time this skill goes off here, you are also getting a control immunity for 3 seconds. So you can't be stunned, you can't be overwhelmed, you can't be taunted. So that means he's just going to continue using his auto attack and stacking these up and going and going and going. So I think if you're really trying to build kind of that air counter with your tank team, you almost have to get this up to level 30 in order to try to avoid those stuns. And if you were to ask me, I think the best place this fits is with an Atom tank team. So you're going to have to replace somebody with Atom. I don't know exactly who that would be, what would make the most sense here. Replacing Stetman with Atom no longer makes sense because you're going to need Stetman in there because he is directly going to help you with aircraft squads. So you can't pull Kim out because that's your other main damage dealer, and you can't pulling Marshall out. That could be a bit of a problem too because he's buffing your team. He's also reducing damage taken to your main damage dealer. So it's going to be kind of weird to figure out how that team would actually work. All right. So the main reason I am not happy with this is you have 2 damage dealers on your tank team. If you think about the other teams, you have your aircraft teams. You have 3 attackers there. You have your missile team with 3 attackers there. Tank only has 2 main attackers. You already have a buffer. You already have your defense heroes up front. So you need your 2 main damage dealers to just be focused on damage. So the fact that this guy is going to be doing shield damage and additional shield damage, and then he's going to proc and have a shield himself or reduce the control immunity. I mean, this stuff it's fine in a certain scenario, but overall, I mean, you want him to just do a ton of damage. You want him to be like Kim, where he's just stacking these buffs on himself, just doing tons and tons of damage. And as of right now, I mean, this looks like it just falls off. The fact that you're not going to be able to get any of this additional damage if the hero or the enemy doesn't have a shield is a bit of a bummer. I wish they wouldn't have done that. At least I would say, hey, if they have a shield, great, you're going to do an additional 200% of damage. If they don't have a shield, then you're going to do an additional 100% of damage. Something like that, to it's like an and or this or that kind of scenario. So that way you're still doing additional damage. It's not just that, hey, if you're going up against another tank team or you're going up against a missile team, these skills, almost do nothing for you. I mean, really, the last skill here, again, feels like it's really geared towards aircraft. These skills certainly geared towards aircraft, unless they come out with something else in the future. You do have some skills from the drone that give shields. I know that, but eventually those wear off. You're not getting shields all the time. So Lucius is probably going to be the main target whenever you're talking about stripping shields, who affects teams anyways, that gives out shields, that this is going to be stripping those. So me personally, I wish they would have done something more with the raw damage, just more damage output. Tank just really needs it. I mean, they got to be able to burst down teams, because if you look at missile teams, they have tons and tons of burst damage. They're able to do tons of damage. You look at world boss damage, missiles just running away with world boss damage just because they have such a high damage output ceiling. I mean, you throw in tank here, you only have 2 attackers, so they're already at a disadvantage. Then you handicap Stetman here with his ability to do damage, and it's just kind of frustrating from that standpoint. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Stetman's exclusive weapon. Here you go, the level 1, all the way up through level 30, what this looks like here. Kind of, if you ask me, the level 10 looks pretty goofy. So yeah, level 30 though, I do like the look of this visually. It looks pretty cool. Just the skills, guys. The skills are what get me. I think a lot of people agreed with me last night. I don't know if people had more time to think about it. We'll obviously be testing this out as people get this, level it up, max it out. The whales will have some time to play with it, put it on some different teams, and see how well it does. But as always, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.